Welcome back, everybody. Manny V here now with Nick Mesritz, a.k.a. Mez. This is the NMD versus Fronton Pro. You riding Alpha Campaign 662 Mob. And here's what went down in during the commercial, the start of the heat. Guillermo Cobo. Nice, yeah.
Iron it up through here. Punches, short little roll. Won't be a high-scoring wave. Want to start the heat off. So here it goes. Hubby just dominated that heat.
Oh, man, that was insane to watch. I thought I had a pin here. There it is. Yeah, so it was Nick Omeron and Jeff Hubbard. Jeff Hubbard just having a field day out there. But now it comes down to this heat. Dave Winchester, he has his work cut out for him. If he gets knocked out of this heat by either Sasha Specker or the local rider, Guillermo Cobo, that will be the end for Dave Winchester's world title run here in 2012. And it could go down in this heat. But he is definitely a contender and definitely can hold his own. Guillermo Cobo drawing first blood on that first wave that you just saw. Sasha Specker, Dave Winchester waiting patiently. So you have you're the shaper to the pros. Give us an insight on what Dave Winchester is looking for in the perfect board for Fronton.
Well, yeah, Woody doesn't deviate too much. You know, he's had the same. Actually, he's got a favorite board, and I believe when Slater won one of his world titles, or maybe a couple, he had one board. It was a 6.6 or a 6.4, and he just rode that throughout 2 years and put it back together. And Dave's the same. So he's got a magic board that he's just had for the last 3 or 4 contests, and he only brings it out for the contest. So it's just got that sweet shape that he likes. I might shape Dave up, say 6 boards, 8 boards. And they're all the same specs. They're all made the same way, but everything. It's a custom board. It's handmade. So they all turn out with very fine differences.
Well, what are those differences as far as bringing a board here to Fronton? Would he change up the cores, and if so, what's he looking for?
He's got the parabolic cores, and he's riding those. He's rode those consistently for the last year. So
can you explain that
and
for people?
What a parabolic core is basically we have a central core, we have 2 parabolic beams, which are these rails, and got Cobo there on another one. He's going to come out of that.
Oh, no, too deep.
So we've got 2 vertical beams, and then we've got 2 more flexible outer rails. So what happens on the parabolic is the outer rails are able to flex, independently almost of the core. It's only very slight. So you get a board that, drives like a PP board, but can scoop like an old PE board. So they tend to work, Winnie loves them. Jace is on them, and all the boys in my team have had them. And the boys find them very fast and responsive. And that's what Winnie's been on, like I said, exclusively for a couple of years now. So the board that he's got out there now is that board that he's ridden for the last probably 6 contests.
So what is the advantage? So you can take that board into a warm water and maintain the flexibility into a colder.
Yeah. I mean, if the complaint always is PP boards last, but they're too stiff.
Yeah.
PE boards have got great flex, but they don't last. And then in different combinations you have, the boards don't work and this don't work and that. So this is the way that I sort of thought out to get it in the right, to work in everything, to cover all bases.
To get the best of both worlds.
Exactly, and if you look, like I keep saying, like Winnie's been riding that same board for the last 4 to 5 contests, so he's been surfing, Sintra, he's been surfing Mexico, all those different places, and it's worked for him in those different ones. So there's J-Rom there, disappointed, that's his campaign over for the year.
Yeah, but you know what? He can't hold his head down. Everybody's clapping for him as he comes up. He qualified for the 2013 Grand Slam Series, so I can actually hear Maui, too, giving this guy a round of applause, too. The Maui boy, Jacob Romero. Unfortunately, the end here at the Fronton Pro, but definitely see more of Jacob, and he's exciting to watch.
Is that his first on the tour, Manny? Is he the first time he's been on full time?
Yep, this is the first year he has qualified.
Woody having a look at this one.
Here we go. Starting off at his first wave.
He's going to punch a nice little invert there.
Oh, my.
Nice clean one to start it off for Winnie there. He's sporting the samurai haircut. And then straight to Cobo again, his 3rd wave. Looks like a nice wave.
Oh, Cobo straight off the bottom. Big roll on that end section. That was a big move right there for Cobo. That's going to add on to his scorecard as one of his highest scoring waves so far. These are 30-minute heats. Top 2 waves will be scored. There is a 15-wave maximum. These are 3-man heats. Only 2 riders will advance on to round number 4. Third place will come into an equal 17th overall on the Fronton Pro. Here's another look at Dave Winchester.
So he just stalls that takeoff a little bit, eyes the section, nice extension on the invert, eyes the landing, and it's the way you started off. Whips around a reverse, and off he goes out the back. That was followed straight behind the wave from Kobo. So, yeah, I think Specs still got a wave, hasn't caught a wave yet, but as Manny says, it's 30-minute heat, so there's plenty of time. No need to panic.
Here's another look at Guillermo Cobos. This is a local rider here from the Canary Islands, straight off the bottom, just like Winnie, but little late, punches through the lip, but big extended roll right there from Guillermo Cobo. Look at the paddle battle was ensuing right there. Look at this, Dave Winchester, before he can even get back out, turns around and catches a nice little pocket ride right there. I'll tell you what, if you're watching right now, I'm sure you would give anything to be able to ride out here in these perfect conditions. Look at Sasha Specker on his first wave.
Goes through, punches a roll, and does he pull that? No.
All right, Sasha has been on a roll. He's got to just sit back, relax, and continue what he's been doing throughout the entire first part of this event. As you can see, take another look at Dave Winchester.
In the pit there, just tube time, getting a shampoo on the end section. Out he comes. I mean, the amazing thing with Sasha Specker, I saw him this morning. He sits there, he's taking photos, he's editing photos. He's got a full-time job. And that's working for the IBA. Now here he is in the contest, driving through a pit there, and all the other guys, they're here to contest. At the contest, they focus, they chill out, they watch, they have some food, but not Sasha.
He's working.
He's working.
Oh, nice clean reverse, but cannot pull it all the way around, just in time for the landing. And he's got to be a little bit careful. All the riders do, because if you do these big maneuvers, pull into big barrels, the chance of your leash breaking is there. Yeah. And we saw two riders yesterday break their leash, one early in their round and one later in the heat. And if you do that, you're going to lose time, which could essentially, bite you in the butt.
Yeah, well, yesterday there was a bit of confusion as to, board caddies. Could we have board caddies? And we'll just watch this wave here from Kobo, and he bottom turns into it, bit of a frothy one. And
nice.
Air reverse off the end, but you really have to pull those clean. You can't just have a thought and then go bang it, because the landings are so hard here. It takes so much strength to get through that inside section as Manny gets his breakfast.
Yes, the Manny special from our friends over. All right, she's going to give me the name of the... Oh, man, I don't know if I should show you this, only because it's...
Thanks, Manny.
Oh, my, I don't know how I'm going to be able to eat this, but thank you for bringing this. I'm not going to eat the fries. They're bad for me.
Well, yeah, it's a little food shack just up to the left of us, about 50 meters, and the lovely lady there and her husband, they've been cranking out the sandwiches, the bocadilla, and the fries, and the coffees, and the beers in the afternoon.
Oh, so, man, it's been great.
It's been great. And you get the perfect view. You sit there with your coffee, and you're looking straight at what you guys can see on the web feed. So,
they actually have the web feed going, too, in their little
do they?
In their little tent. They have a little TV there. So, thank you once again. We do have... this is a perfect time for me to take a bite of this sandwich. We do have an interview with Alex Leon and the winner of the last heat. Alex, where you at, brother?
Thanks, Manny. Yeah, well, I'm down here with what people are talking about. Heat of the day there. Certainly incredible. Jeff Hubbard from Hawaii.
Yeah, Leo, thanks. I was just stoked. I just want to make that heat. It was a bummer I had to eliminate Jacob because you were surfing and we're all staying together, me, Jacob, and Nick, and so it was, it was a bummer, but I was stoked to win that heat and just make it through this next round. It's non-elimination, and the waves are going off out there. It's so good, and it's not big, but it's just perfect. Every wave's right and left. You can just choose whatever you want to do. It's just like it's so cool. I'm just excited to get back out there and try to get some more good waves.
Well, you've done what you just did then. You've been doing for most of the year, and you're coming right down the wire now. It all depends. If Winchester gets third in this heat now that he's in the water, you're going to be crowned world champ today.
Yeah, that could be pretty rad. He's so good out here. I'm not even thinking about what he's doing. He's rad. So yeah, I'm just stoked to make that last heat and just see what happens the rest of the day.
Yeah, well, the cameras, they can't keep off you and Winnie. The whole show is watching. It's all down to you and Winnie. So
love it. That's rad. It's all about me. No, just kidding. I'm just stoked. Thanks, God, and all my family at home. Thanks for all the support. You guys are great. Just want to thank all my sponsors and family and friends back home. You guys are awesome. Thanks for everything, guys.
Well, there you have it. Jeff Hubbard, humble man as we see from Hawaii, holding it down for the boys there. He's moved into round 5, which is a non-elimination round. So these guys are going to just give you another show later on today, and we'll see if we can crown Jeff Hubbard today. Back to you, Manny.
Congratulations to Jeff Hubbard winning that heat hands down. Advances on to round number 4. Welcome once again. Manny V here with Nick Mesritz. This is the NMD versus Fronton Pro, brought to you by You Riding, Alpha Campaign, 662 Mob, and Like Bodyboarding. Currently out in the water, round number 3, heat number 17. Dave Winchester looking good right now, keeping his world title hopes alive. If he gets knocked out of this heat, those dreams are over for 2012 world title.
And just to butt in there, Manny,
Yes.
if Dave does get knocked out, that means Jeff Hubbard is the world champion.
That is correct. The only way Dave Winchester can be the world champion is if he ends up in the final. And if he is in the final with Jeff Hubbard, he has to win.
Well, no, not even. When he has 2 firsts and he has 3 thirds. So it's the top 5 finishes. Jeff has 3 firsts, a 5th, and a 9th. And it basically comes down to your top 5 results. So Dave has to knock off one of those thirds to be a 2nd or a 1st to go ahead of Jeff. But if Jeff makes the final, Jeff's won the world title. So they need Jeff to be knocked out in the semis, and Winnie has to get 1st or 2nd. But if Jeff makes the final, I believe that's it. He's won the world title. So that's not, that's just my backdoor maths. But I believe that's the situation. We can get that confirmed later on. But Winnie has to, pretty much has to win it, and I hope for some, I wouldn't say bad luck, but hope Jeff, get some competitors do a number on him. But that first heat we just watched Jeff in was pretty impressive. I mean, the first 2 waves, you could have paddled in from that. It was like an 8.5, and it was all over before it even started. So Jeff's just been in the zone the last 3-4 comps, and
I'm sure we'll have a camera on Jeff Hubbard during each and every single one of Dave Winchester's heats, because Jeff Hubbard will be watching intently to see where Dave Winchester ends up in each and every one of his heats here at Fronton. Again, round number 3, heat number 17 out in the water. Dave Winchester currently holding that first place spot. Again, 30-minute heats, top 2 riders advance on, and that's where we are right now. You don't want to end up in 3rd place. Out in the water, Dave Winchester in red, Guillermo Cobo in green, and Sasha Specker in white. Sasha has been on a roll.
He has, and like yesterday, he had the highest scoring heat of the day, and 2 of the top, I think 10 highest scoring waves of the contest so far. So that was just an amazing heat for Sasha. But then today, it's not working for him. He's just woken up on a different side of the bed or had the wrong thing for breakfast, and Huey's not giving him what he wants. So he's got time to change that. I think 16 minutes left. Still plenty of time. Only 3 guys in the water, so it's not too much of a hassle fest out there. And he's got plenty of time, but he needs to start getting his program back on track, because that time will run out. We've got Dave in front there with a 6.63 and a 4.75, and Guillermo Cobo with a 3.88 and a 5.38. So those 2 guys will look to build on their scores, whereas Sasha needs to get a score and start to put pressure on the guys in green and red.
For those of you that don't know, Mez is the man behind NMD and Versus. And NMD is pretty much... Let me just backtrack a second. Because you're one of the best shapers, if not the best shaper in the world, in my opinion, I do want to ask you some technical questions about board design. Crescent tails and bat tails. This has been a give and take through the years.
Well, I mean, the crescent tail, that's if you look at the riders today, I think with in the contest, he's got green hair paddling for one. Let's wait for this wave, and he's kicking into a smaller wave there.
Oh yeah.
And
Guillermo Cobo. Oh, we seen that yesterday. That is an invert into reverse, and those are very difficult to do because you are actually changing your rotation mid-flight. And Guillermo Cobo almost pulls it off right there, but falls a little short on the landing. Dave Winchester knows he's got to improve on a 4.75, comes off the bottom. Oh, and he also goes for a reverse right there, but could not pull it around. I don't know how the judges are going to score that, but that was
I think we'll take points off for that one.
That was more of a save face kind of maneuver where his timing was off on an air reverse, but lands it and he didn't pull it around. and just trying to keep composure and just rides off of that wave. Now, Sasha Specker, he has the ball in his court. He has priority. He needs to put something solid on his scorecard. Here he is, up and riding.
And he goes eyeing off the barrel here. He's inside, rolls out of it.
Nice. That will improve on his 1.83. So now he has a wave that is solid to
probably be in the 4s or the 5s, maybe the 5s. So that'll put him in contention with Guillermo Cobo there. So he needs a second one to get ahead of Cobo. So here's the replays here. So here's Sasha's wave, stalls it, pulls up in, and just rolls out with it. So yeah, like I say, maybe a 5, low 5s, and he's on the scoreboard with something decent. So yeah, the crescent tails, I mean, like I was saying before, like most of the guys out here are riding crescent tails, probably 80-90% of them. But then we've got Jeff Hubbard, who's currently leading the world tour, riding the bat tail. Now, the bat tail, basically the part of the tail that protrudes out is it gives you, when you're driving off the bottom, you're actually turning off 2 points. You're turning off the tail point in the middle, and you're turning off the rail point. So you're turning off 2 points. On a crescent tail, you're pretty much turning off the block, so you're turning off 1 point. And for Jeff, I think it allows him to sort of hold a higher line in the wave, so he's boosting. You can see that, like, Jeff boosts and probably higher than anybody, but he just has that light body. He just holds his line up a little higher, and then bang, just flips off the top. Whereas Winnie, if you watch Winnie, he's driving more off the bottom of the wave than coming up and doing the rotations.
So it's essentially a preference. It's what the rider wants. But crescent tail seems to be I guess the safer way to draw those lines cleaner and I guess sharper.
It's what works. And a lot of these guys, they're diehards in the sense that when they're on a board, they don't want to change too much. I mean, Ben Player's been riding the same specs and the same shape for probably the last 6 years, and we haven't deviated one little bit. So yeah, that's he knows what works. He doesn't deviate from that. Guillermo Cobo again in the pit, coming out.
Action.
Little cutty there to reverse, coming on the inside, and that's the end of that wave. So in the battle for second, I think Como's going ahead with that one. It'll put him a little bit further out from Sasha. And I think Dave's still comfortably in the lead there. But if that scores in the high 6s, he could knock Dave. So yeah, back in the barrel, out through the back door, doggy door as they say, and smooth little reverse on the inside there. So the conditions have changed in this heat from what we saw earlier. We're seeing some bigger barrels, more of a lip on the inside, and the guys were boosting, especially Jeff's heat. We don't see that right now, which is probably something to do with the tide. I'm not an expert here, so some of the local guys would be able to tell me a bit more about that. But that's what I can see from the screen here. I'm sure you can see the same at home. So it does do that, though. Like the heats, some heats are cracking, other ones not so much. Sasha here.
There it is,
ARS.
Sasha, big move. That's what he was looking for right there. Sasha with a giant flip on the inside. And, I mean, he would love to prelude that with a barrel, but unfortunately right now Sasha's look like he's scrambling. I think he just needs to slow it down a little bit. He knows he's capable of those higher scores, but again, it's Mother Nature as well.
Well, his high scoring wave there for Sasha's a 5.18, and that'll definitely be higher than that. The judges are scoring these aerial maneuvers with good completion, really high, more so than barrels. So you've got good projection, nice landing, and he continues with the wave. So that'll score well for him, probably in the 6s. So we'll wait for that score to drop. And that second wave from Guillermo, has that dropped yet, Manny? I don't think so.
Let's put
it has a 4.43. So this keeps him in second place. And
oh my, look at these sets. Look at these sets. Maz, take a look. Dave Winchester taking a look at this. What's he going to do? Slides under the pocket perfectly, getting as much barrel time as possible. Comes out of that clean, looking for another section, throws a spin right there. It's just going to be a big barrel ride and a spin at the end for Dave Winchester.
And you have to, I mean, the way that the guys have been judging these heats this morning, the guys winning, that was a sick barrel from Winnie, but you need to do the deep barrel. And then, sorry, mumbling here, but punch off the end bowl, with an ARS or a roll or an invert, and that's what gets you in the 8s and the 9s. But the barrel there, in years gone by, that would score you an 8 or 9, but not now. It's not enough. So when he's deep inside that one, rides the shocky.
You can tell he was
Comes out.
actually slowing down
Yeah.
to get even more barrel time. He dragged his legs a little bit. You can see his pelvic area lift up a little bit as he was dragging his legs. That pretty much slowed him down to get even more barrel time. You can't see it from this angle, but the reason why he was in that barrel longer is he did hit the brakes at the very end and was able to get just, a second longer barrel ride from that barrel.
And also the foam ball that comes out of those ones, you can see there's a foam ball. That's a hard thing to ride. And that can just grab around and suck you down. You see guys, they're set up perfectly in the barrel, and then the foam ball comes in and just kicks your behind, and you're sucked down, and what was a 6 or a 7 becomes a 2. So when he was just making sure he came out of that one clean, and that'll be another good scoring wave for him.
All right, up and riding. Oh, taking a look was Guillermo Cobo in the green jersey. So just got word from our IT tech maestro, Andrew Bleakley. It looks like our servers on the IBA World Tour website are just getting jam-packed, but you can watch. Wait a second. Sasha Specker, here it is. Nice clean barrel, deep barrel, clean exit. Now looking for that inside section. Big roll, lands in front of that whitewash.
Does he land it?
Does he land it is the big question. Either way, he does have a big barrel before that. So Sasha Specker now sitting very comfortably ahead of Guillermo Cobo. Woo, that's just going to pull him a little further away from Guillermo Cobo in the red.
That last wave for Dave Winchester was a 7.63. And, I don't know how the judges will score that because Sasha's wave, it was a better barrel than Dave's barrel. We'll see that here. Winnie there going on a left-hander. So what does he do off this one?
Oh, my Lord.
Does he
That was
land that, though?
massive. That was Dave Winchester during the live feed. That was a split peak. Dave Winchester going left on that. That was gigantic.
Well, if he landed that, that'll probably be in the 8s maybe.
Oh, my. It's so much speed coming off of these sections. Again, we've heard the term skate ramp thrown out left and right. Perfect ramps. Here's what Sasha got. Big, clean, deep barrel, stalling to get more barrel time, and a big roll right there.
Well, that's what I was saying. That end section takes that wave from being a 7 to high 8s. But we're not sure if he pulled that. We can't see if he got through the white water there. And like I was saying, how do the judges, what do they do on that wave? They say, okay, he's made the barrel and he's made the roll was not complete, so therefore the wave's not complete, or they just judge him on the barrel. You have to complete the wave from what I believe. Here's a different angle here. Stall sets himself up. Perfect barrel here at Fronton. Exits, eyes off the next section, and then bang, rolls it. Now we'll see if he makes the landing. And that's a shallow section inside there, and he's working his way, and we're not sure.
The judges have the clear view of that. We're waiting for those scores to drop. Sasha making his way back out there. And again, if there's any Australians having any issues, check out youtube.com/IBA World Tour. There you can see the live feed, hopefully without any issues. But everywhere else around the world, you guys are looking pretty. No issues anywhere else. Other than Australia, there has been a couple Aussies saying, look at this, Sasha, turning around.
Smaller wave here. Back in the pit.
Nice.
Hiding from the sun. Nice little ARS on the inside.
There it is, Sasha coming together towards the end of this heat.
So when he's got the last air reverse we saw was a 6.8. So it was a smaller wave, good rotation, but only one move. So spectacular move that it was, but not enough to score a higher score. And here's Sasha on a smaller one, perfectly in the pit. Bang, ARS. Bit froggy on the landing there, but that'll be put him up there. And Guillermo Cobo now, he's has to start to worry. He's got 5 minutes left, and it could be the end for him, the end of the line for the Fronton contest. So he needs a 7.35 to go into second, but that's before we get that last score from Sasha. So Winnie again, and the waves are really starting to pump here at Fronton. Comes out of that one, eyes the section, nothing doing, so he pulls away. So that won't better one of his scores, but he keeps the rhythm going. And that also shuts out Cobo and has less of a chance of picking one up. So Guillermo can't buy a wave, and the other two guys are getting too many. So it's sometimes the way it is here. So he eyes it off, stalls the whole way, straight under it, comes out.
Oh, nice.
The wave backs off. So, yeah, so we say again, he needs Guillermo Cobo 7.35 to get ahead of Sasha Specker. And we are waiting for that last score to drop, I believe. Or was that the 5.85, Manny? Maybe that was the 5.85. So, yeah, that was that barrel. He didn't complete the roll. So that goes to show, if you don't pull that off, if he completed that, he would be in the 8s at least. Probably the best wave of this heat. So, and the judges do judge per heat based on the conditions that they're in. One heat might be firing. Those guys are scoring 8s and 9s. You'll see one heat where it's not firing. The guys are still scoring 8s and 9s. And you think to yourself, how can he do that when Hubbard just smashed, an air reverse?
Yeah.
Well, they judge based on the conditions and what they're doing in the conditions that are put in front of them. So it also helps to spread the score. If we have a whole bunch of scores in the 5s, it's very hard to to see who's going to win the heats and make things a lot very, very tight. And world surfing judging around the world's always been spreading the scores up between the lows and the highs. So I was speaking to Kiwi boys before and having a bit of trouble with the web feed. So Kev McAllister and the boys, if you're out there, just follow Manny's lead, and it's youtube.com/IBA World Tour.
There you have it. Yeah, if you are having any issues, our servers are just getting hammered right now on the IBAWorldTour.com feed. So head on over to youtube.com/IBA World Tour. You will see the live feed there. And let us know if that feed is coming in good. We're pretty sure that'll take care of any issues. Guillermo Cobo paddling over to the inside section, not forming up a good wave for him right there. So Sam is tuned in from Brizzy. Thank you all for tuning in. Yaniv in Cops Harbor, what up? Carl in Brazil. And here we go. Guillermo Cobo up and riding. Comes under the pocket. Clean barrel. No, just too deep as he gets into that inside section. There was no way he was going to come out of that. And look at the power just holding him down. Guillermo Cobo grabs his board, makes his way back out into the water. John in Wollongong. Henry, he's in Kalaroy. Benjamin in Estrella. Christian all the way from Thailand. Yeah, buddy. Connor in Shell Harbor, Australia. Dylan White, thank you for tuning in from Sunshine Coast. James is in Cronulla. And here we go, people. Sean Polson in Sydney. Yeah, Sean.
Sean's a long-time bodyboarder from Hawaii.
Yes.
And moved to Australia a few years ago, probably several years ago now, showing our age. But he used to live with Kainoa, I believe, right? In that house on Honolulu.
Yeah.
I stayed there 1 year. Bizarre. They tried to make a shaping bay in their garage. They had like a 44-gallon drum with a rubber tire, and
Oh, that's right.
yeah, it was the cockroaches big enough for piggyback rides. It was quite an experience. But yeah, Sean's in Australia now. He's got a young child and doing well. So it's good to see the old school guys out there. So we got 125 and we're counting down, and I think the scores aren't going to change too much, which we'll see Dave Winchester still in contention and heat things up a little bit more. So Dave will go through to round 4, and as did Jeff Hubbard in the previous heat. So the world title hunt is still on for these two riders.
Oh, my. Guillermo Cobo putting a great showing. Again, he's one of those competitors, one of those local Canary Island riders that in the big stuff here at Fronton, he is fearless. And it's unfortunate that we won't be able to see him in some of the massive waves that are apparently supposed to show up for the Fronton Pro. But Guillermo Cobo making a fine showing nonetheless here at the NMD versus Fronton Pro. Manny V here with Mez holding it down. 30 seconds remaining in this heat. Unless Guillermo Cobo can find a 7.35 on his next wave, it is at the end of the road for Cobo. Sasha Specker had a little slow start in the beginning, but came back firing towards the end and sustained 2 solid scores in his campaign here in this heat. So he, along with Dave Winchester, I believe, will move on unless Cobo can find that wave. Look at this. They're paddling, getting in position. 10 seconds remaining. Cobo. Sasha looks down the line. Sasha does have priority, and he would have tried to fend off Cobo if he were deciding to go. But that's it. No change.